Okay, I've got an object here called myObject. It's got one property in it with the value some string. I want to add another property, and I'm also going to add a method to this object. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to reference the object by name, and using dot notation I'm going to create my key with the key name key number and assign it a value of 10. And then right down here, I'm just going to go ahead and display that in a pop-up. So what it'll display is 10. So I'm going to run it. And it shows the value 10 because now key number has been added to my object. I'm going to do something very similar for adding a method. So I'm going to say my object and then say a method. I'm going to give that a function. And then I'm just going to return a string. And so I'm going to say this method has been added to the object. Now this is going to add a method to the object. So I'm going to alert that also. So alert object a method. Then methods have the open and closing parenthesis at the end of it. And I'm going to close that up and run it. And so I get the value 10 from key number, and then I get what is returned in the function for the method, a method. And it says this method has been added to the object. Now the order in which these properties are added to the object are not guaranteed to return in that order. But for the most part, when you add properties to an object, they will return in the order that they were added. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this here. And I'm going to add a few properties, and then I'm going to loop through it using the for and loop to display the properties that are inside of that object. Now, I'm going to loop through it at this point, see what it returns back to us. So I'll say for var k in my object. I'm going to alert out k plus and then my object. Okay, so what it's going to return here, what we're seeing is the key and then the value. So first up, key string, which is already in the object. Now I added the key number with the value of 10, then the key boolean with true. Here we see the array, and then another key and the value for that. So it cycled through this and displayed it in order. However, I'm going to go ahead and add my object. Then I'll say here will be returned before all the other properties, even though it's been added last. Now when I cycle through this, it shows up first, then the other ones come through.